Alright, this is example 1 from handout 2 problems for the weighted average cost of capital problem set. And here we're calculating the weighted average cost of capital using the parameters given. Okay, and the parameters given, you have the market value of bonds. It's how much is outstanding on the bonds. The company has $9.75 million outstanding. They have $1.35 million of preferred stock, and they have common equity at $22,400,000. Well, so I can get the weights, and the weight for the bonds would be $975,000 divided by the $975,000 of bonds plus the $1,350,000 of stock, preferred stock, plus the $22,400,000 of common. Okay, so my weight for bonds, simply 9.75 million divided by the other three parameters. The weight of the preferred, that divided by that plus that plus that. And the weight for common would be the 22 million divided by the sum of the other of all of the types of capital. Okay, and I can always check my answer. Those better sum up to 100%, or I did it wrong. Okay, so I'm good. Got my weights. The cost of debt capital. The cost is yield to maturity of the debt times 1 minus the tax rate. So that's equal to the yield to maturity of 5.5% times 1 minus the tax rate. And we make that tax adjustment because the company gets to subtract payments to bondholders from its income taxes, because that's a tax deductible expense. They can't do that with preferred share dividends, and they can't do it with common dividends, but they can do it with bonds, so they get a tax subsidy. Alright, so the cost on preferred would be the dividend payment divided by the price. Alright, so I've got dividends of $6.80 for every $85 you pay for a share of stock. That gives you a rate of return of 8%. For the cost of common equity, I can use the capital asset pricing model. I got an expected total stock market return of 14%, a risk-free rate of 3, a beta of 0.8. So the cost would be the risk-free rate plus the market risk premium, which is the stock market return minus the risk-free rate, times the beta. Okay. So that would be the risk-free plus the risky portion of the total return. Total return is 14%. If 3% of it's the risk-free portion, then the other 11% has to be the risky portion. And then multiply that by the beta using the capital asset pricing model parameters. Alright, so weight times cost. And then add the numbers together. And I get 9.17%. That is my weighted average cost of capital. All right, for those of y'all that already forgotten or didn't do the other problems. When we're trying to come up with the common equity using the capital asset pricing model, what that says is that in the stock market, there's a risky portion and a risk-free portion of your return. The risky portion is called the market risk premium. So the total return in the stock market is 14%. The risky portion is 3%, then the risk-free portion would be 11%. Now that's for the average stock in the stock market. And the average stock in the stock market has a beta 1. The beta for this particular company is 0.8, which means that the risk premium for this particular company is smaller than the average. Its risk premium would be 11% times 0.8. So its risk premium is smaller. It has the same risk-free portion, but its risky portion is smaller. So this particular company has a cost of capital 11.8%.